let's talk about one of the most dangerous positions you can be in as a man, right? For me, I just thought about making this video because last year I set some pretty big goals for myself, well, for what I consider big for myself, and I pretty much hit all my goals, right? Some of my goals, I hit them right in January. I didn't hit them at the end of the last year, but I hit them right in January, and I surpassed a lot of my goals by a lot, right? And I think one of the most dangerous positions you can be in as a man is when the stuff you want, you get, but it's not at the level that you really want it to be, right? Don't get me wrong, I did surpass my goals, but those are my goals for that year, not in general what I want to be at. For example, let's say your goal for last year was to make $4,000 online and you made $5,000 online, right? But in reality, you really want to be making like $15,000 a month online, right? You might hit that first goal, and that first goal would give you all the things you want to where you're comfortable. And I'm saying this from a personal antidote, right? It gives you all the things that you want to be comfortable, and you almost lose the desire to push. And I hear a lot of people who talk about this, and they're like, yeah, like once you start making a little bit of money, you get to this weird point where you're like, well, do I really need to keep pushing? But I saw that happening with myself. The habits and the actions and the behaviors that I was taking to get to the position that I wanted to be in and to hit my goals very consistently last year, and to keep pushing all year long, and constant evolution throughout the year, I realized I got to the point where I pretty much got the stuff that I wanted. I hit my goals, and I kind of just started slacking off because pretty much everything I wanted was pretty much set at that time, right? My true big goals, obviously I haven't reached, right? Like, for example, moving out the US and living in a different country while making my money fully online. Those goals I haven't reached, but right now my life is so comfortable that it's almost like you wake up and then you're like, yeah, do I really need to do that though? It's the same thing that happens. This happens, I've seen this in work, I've seen this in the gym. You start going to the gym, you start hitting the gym heavy, you really want to get to, let's say you want to get to 190 pounds. You get to 180 and you're like, oh, I look kind of good. There's no point in me going to 190 anyway, right? Or vice versa. Someone's like, yo, by this summer, I'm going to get fucking six-pack abs, or I'm going to get abs. You get to, let's say you're aiming to get six-pack abs at 140. And you get to 150, you have abs, but you kind of have to flex your stomach to get the abs. But you're like, well, do I really have to keep dieting for another 2 months so I can get that six-pack ab look without me having to flex? And you start to almost like cope, right? You start to cope and you're like, oh yeah, I don't really need to do all that. I technically have abs now. And I feel like that's one of the things that a lot of people have to watch out when you're on your self-improvement journey is, especially as a guy, be very wary of comfort, especially right as things are going to go right, as things are aligning for you. That's when that shit is going to hit. You start meditating a little bit, you start seeing a little bit of progress or whatever, mental clarity or whatever habit that you're doing, and then you're like, you know what, I don't need to do whatever time you were doing, right? And I'm speaking about all this from personal experience. I'm not just talking about theory. The reason I decided to make this video is because I saw all these things happening in my own life to where I'm like, damn, like I'm kind of feeling like it's a pain in the ass to kind of push to do more, right? For example, this year I wanted to start an online company doing something, but at my job I'm making enough money to where I'm like, do I really want to do that? Not even do I really want to do that. It's like putting in the effort to do that. It's kind of like, oh, is that really necessary? And the reason I decided to make this video, I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday at the gym in the morning, and we really talked about like, sometimes you get in this position of comfort to where you start to almost feel like your bigger goals don't really matter because you're kind of just surviving and living and things are pretty good, right? So you're not pushing for more. So like, yeah, like I just wanted to get on here and say, be very, very wary of when things are going very, very well. Because as we all know, things are pendulums. Things start going very good, you're gonna swing the other way. to swing the other way. And you always have to be wary of that. And I hope, people find this message and they can relate to it in their own lives, and they've seen something similar in their own lives. I know there's some other people that I know who've experienced very similar things, right? They really wanted to have their own business, but then they got a software development job making 100 or 150K a year or 200K a year. And now they're like, I never really wanted to do software. But no, it's not they never wanted to do software and become their own boss or start their own software company. It's or their own, IT company. It's just because now they're making such a good enough money to where they're content in life, and it's hard for you to push. That's why when you see real killers, the guys, when people are like, well, if I had, and I know a lot of people see this, right? I might be going on a tangent, but you see a lot of people that are like, well, if I had $10 million, why would I go and work? Or if I had $30-40 million, why would I go and work? Well, because the real killers, they have that mindset of, even though they have $10 million, they still get up and they go fucking get it, and they're not content. Not content in a bad way to where like nothing is ever good enough, but it's like they always know there's more out there, and they always want that challenge of chasing what's next, chasing to see what can they do. How can I conquer here? How can I conquer my fitness? How can I conquer my health? How can I conquer my business? How can I conquer my work? Right? There's certain guys that just get to that level and they just keep fucking grinding, and that's just where you see the difference between guys that are almost mediocre and guys that are true killers. And I'm not saying if you have that mindset now to where you're kind of content with how your shit's going, you're not a killer. No, it's just that happens to everyone. I've seen even guys that are multimillionaires talk about this online, to where they're like, yo, you start making a shitload of money, and then you're like, I don't really feel like growing it that much anymore. Maybe if I just stay at this number, it'll be good. But never settle, because you'll always look back and you're like, damn, I wish I did this. I wish I went and actually chased what I wanted and achieved the goals that I really had for myself, and didn't stop because it felt comfortable and I didn't want to step outside my comfort zone. And that's where I feel like I'm at myself with my fitness and my work, my income. So I feel like I've been going to the gym for, pretty consistently for a couple months now, and I'm not pushing myself anymore. I'm seeing it that I'm almost like kind of checking off the box, and I'm not really locking in. And I want you guys to not do what I'm doing, and if you are, to catch it and fix it, and make sure that you're pushing through. If you see yourself, oh yeah, I'm kind of slacking, like I'm not really hitting the gym like I used to, like I'm not, when I get to work at my sales job or whatever job, I'm not really aiming to just fucking destroy everyone. I'm kind of just lollygagging around and seeing, oh yeah, and checking off the box. I went to work, oh yeah, my commission base was, I hit 100% quota this month, when in reality you could have been hitting 120, 130, 140. But you're content, so you're like, but I'm still making good money. No. Don't be content, keep fucking pushing, and always do not let yourself stay in that position. And I'm not saying it'll never happen again, but it'll always happen. When things start to go good, you always feel like, oh, I'm kind of comfortable here. But do not let that kill you. Keep pushing forward, guys. See you next time.